Ooh, I'm gonna turn that off. Hold on. I forgot I turned the audio on. Pardon me, all right? I didn't want to get flagged because the music was playing, so I muted it. But anyway, I said, let me get this right for y'all, you know what I'm saying? First of all, you came in the door, you know what's in store. Serious J1S back in the flesh, you know what I'm saying? Fresh off that battle versus Marv One. Shout out to the Fat Killer, you know what I'm saying? Detroit, you know what I'm saying? Legend, you know what I mean? We just had a battle on Mean Three, which is a street talk league. Shout out to Scoop out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I've been kind of like, a little bit more felt back in the last, couple weeks because I've been really just getting my stuff together. You know what I'm saying? But we had the performance, you know what I mean? We got the bars off. I'm gonna give y'all what I think about it, you know what I'm saying? Y'all can go get the pay-per-view, you know what I'm saying? It's available right now, rapgrid.com/mean3, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, hit that like button, you know what I'm saying? Before it's eating the stream. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know I'll be on my listen. You know what I mean? If we ain't rocking, we ain't rocking. But that only happened like twice, right? But but yeah, 2-1. I don't know what you think. To be honest, I gotta watch it again. I just watched it, right? Just bought the pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? I support my own stuff and I'm gonna watch the other people's battles. You know what I'm saying? To be honest, I ain't gonna cap to y'all. I was disappointed. I wanted more of a crowd, you know what I'm saying, participation type of situation, you know what I'm saying? And no disrespect to anybody, events are set up certain ways, you know what I'm saying? And no excuses, no nothing. But I just wanted more people on their feet, you know what I'm saying? And really, you know what I'm saying? Some real summer madnessy. That's what you be wanting. But that's not what this type of event was. Shout out to Twerk, the real deal. They got it lit. You know what I'm saying? They was the main event after we was the co-main event. You know what I'm saying? For this day, it was a 2-day event. You know what I mean? Friday and Saturday they had battles. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like I definitely clearly got the battle, but I don't just be wanting the battle. You know what I'm saying? I want the bars that I come up with to be delivered and captured and resonate the way that I saw it in my mind. That's what I want as an MC. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, I feel like every MC probably wants that. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, that's the thing to me. You feel me? That's the standard. So it's like I don't really be too, hyped or excited if I didn't have battle of the night or performance of the night. You know what I'm saying? And to keep it funky, I can't say that I had that. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Twerk. From what I've seen, I only seen his battle really though. So I gotta look at the battles and see, what my peers was doing. You feel me? But salute, salute, salute. What's up? I'm watching you right now from the Philippines. Salute to the that's love, man. Salute to the Philippines, bro. Where you at? Manila? The Thriller in Manila? Yeah. So, as like you just said, the legend status is, that's a heavy title, and I do my best to really show up on that level. So I think I put a lot of pressure on myself in a way that, like, I don't even like anything less than, like, over the top classic dopeness. And with this battle, to keep it funky, okay, let's go round by round. The first round, the first intro that I had, I thought that was gonna resonate way harder. I ain't gonna lie. This is one thing I didn't realize though, which was just dumb. I had my grills in. I ain't realize it. Now, that might not be a problem if you used to have them, used to talking with them, whatever. When you battle rapping though, you yelling, and if you're saying words in sports mode and you're going fast, it do start messing with your pause, your salivation. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why people be having water to the stage, water. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Hold on, I'm gonna put you on the fridge real fast because this phone's doing the overheating thing again, and I'm gonna get me some hydration, right? So that's what, like, I didn't realize I had these damn grills in, and I'm just rapping, and a couple times I did have a little, like, it was like, whoa, like, I didn't realize what I was even going on. Drinking water and not understanding that when you got, what I'm saying, these diamonds and metal in your mouth, it does hinder your flow a little bit if you rapping fast or whatever, right? Whatever. So, boom. I start off, I thought the intro bar honestly was gonna hit way harder. I'm not gonna lie. I said, I basically jinxed myself, right? I'm like, performance of the night, bar none. And I said, it's Serius Jones versus what nobody gonna say after this, Marv One, right? And it was just like, right? So I just kept going, right? Be like, it's one of them ones, this ain't just one of them ones, I'm the one of them one. He said, I'm just a nerd. This is what he said to me. I'm just a nerd, what you gonna say about me, Jones? I said, me too. One time at band camp, I learned how to step on the bass and hit the stick from the side when you strap with the drum. I don't know. I thought that was hard, you know what I'm saying? But they didn't really react to that yet either. And then, what was it after? Then it was like, I said, I thought it was a legitimate prank when they left my birth certificate blank. I know where my mother is from. I said, at first, they knew what I was to become because I know where my pops and mother is from, but they thought it was a legitimate prank when they left my birth certificate blank and just put son of a gun. See, when I started, and it was like, then they started waking up type shit, right? But it's like, I feel like I started picking up momentum, but honestly, there was a couple dry spots, you know what I'm saying? Which I don't like to admit, but that's the truth to me, you know what I'm saying? And the lack of reaction sometimes from a crowd enhances it. Because whether I want to admit it or not, I like reactions from all my bars. Like all MCs that really come up with bars do. You want your shit to hit, pause, and you want to make sure, like, when it boom, it in the whole room, that's what gives you the fuel to really keep going. So when you're in certain type of rooms, certain type of buildings, you know what I'm saying, where it has that closer energy, where people are like right there on each other, pause. It's like it gives you a more camaraderie type of vibe when you reacting to the bars. You know what I'm saying? Even when you don't get the bar and you see somebody else reacting right next to you, and it's an energy thing more, right? So it was kind of like I didn't really get the energy back that I wanted because I want to make shit erupt, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, it was decent, but it wasn't crazy to me, right? Some of y'all might feel different. Like a lot of people came up to me after the battle. I was like, nigga, that was crazy. And I'm like, I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? But I know my standard. I want hands down, room shaking. Summer Madness 2 Jones, Gnome Jones. You know, You don't know how many times that you have the whole room shaking and going crazy. That's what I want. You know what I'm saying? But Marv went right, and I'm not gonna lie, Marv. And this is not to take nothing away from him. To me, it was like, now I'm gonna watch it again and really like pause, but dive into his bars and really see what he was talking about and see, like if he was really talking. But to me, I was trying to get it, and I was looking like there was a few times where it was just like, what? Like, and if I was weird and I was on some disrespectful stuff and didn't look at him as the legend that I do, I might have just dragged it a little more and just made it very obviously like, you know what I mean? Because when I'm looking back at the playback, he was doing a lot of defensive, moves, just looking and doing like that. I'm like, okay, but we know what this is, right? This is legend smoke. You know that's a part of the thing, accentuating when someone's when you feel like you know what I mean. But it came full circle. He said a lot of shit that was just like, but he got a few reactions too. Um, from what he said, the most that stands out was like he had this salad dressing scheme where he was basically, and of course he addressed the elephant in the Serius Jones battle, you know, book. You know what I'm saying, for people that's battling me, which is the infamous sucker punch that somehow makes me less of a G, right? So, I mean, I figured, right? But he had a cool twist on he said something about, what about the Thousand Eye Land, like and he named a few other dressings. So it was like, okay, that was cool. I don't celebrate Easter, but yeah, it is 420. Happy holidays, you know. Happy holidays to the Smoke Nation. Um, I got some Gelatington, but we're not gonna speak about that on YouTube because we don't want no smoke. Look, this is crazy that. All right, I guess I did have been working a lot on my phone. It just really be getting like overheated, and I just a new one too. Nah, you good, brother. I understand. You know what I'm saying? I got family members that are not Muslim and they celebrate Easter, so I hope you have a good holiday. If y'all celebrate the holiday, you know what I'm saying? You and your family get fly, throw on your Sunday's best. Go out there and do something that just, good vibe, get something to eat, just enjoy each other's presence, do something that reminds you about God, right? That's what holidays should be about to me. Stop, Sherry. That's what holidays are really about. You know what I mean? Even if they have a religious undertone or whatever. So boom, alright. So he said, I heard you, my brother. You say you from the Philippines. I don't know if that's using a translator to say that or whatever, but I heard you before. Salute to you. So okay, boom. So first round goes. I was a little in the beginning of it. It's like it took me a few bars, like I just said, to really start getting some okay, right? And then towards the ending of it, it was like, it was a couple bars that just didn't land towards the end of that first round. And the irony is, like, when people see stuff on camera, understand what I'm saying sometimes, it's like, oh, so I'm realizing, like, I might have to dumb certain things down, you know what I'm saying? Because I write things that, like, I get it, and I know, like, the people that, that I spit my bars to, they'll get it. But it's like when you're in a crowd and depending on, no disrespect to anybody, but it's like when you're in a crowd, it's a lot of factors to whether or not you even have the attention span to get the layers in a bar, if that makes sense. Right? So if somebody got some quadruple entendre stuff, and you don't. It depends on the way you're saying it. It depends on the way, the cadence of it. A lot of things, right? It's not just you have a bar or whatever. So shout out to my peers that are greats at delivering the punch. It's not necessarily just having it. It's not just necessarily having the writing. And it's always a learning process for me, even though I'm one of the greats at this, one of the best to ever do this. I'm still always, doing my best to learn and figure out how I can make something better, fine tune something even more. So I had this bar where it was like, what I say? I said I'm from a cloth you can't rip apart. You ain't living smart. Penguin, that's what he called himself. I said this bird out of hand get traced and put on a plate like kids' Thanksgiving art. When the kids put their hand on the plate. This bird out of hand get traced and put on a plate. Thanksgiving art. I said we in the bird. This ain't Philly. This the killer city that's hilly. You square mark. I said when them Steelers on your helmet, shit really get real dark. You said you gonna bring 380s through, cause that's his saying. I'm gonna bring the 380s through. I said, nigga, nowadays we got switches. I said when he said he's gonna bring 380s through, he meant his weight. But dude, nowadays we got switches. Your scales off. My thugs catch you, hit your blood vessel with the 50 and tear it off. Your chick step up. The one hit her titty and tear it off. I said, that's how you give a order. If the first chick get fly, Amelia Earhart. Because the first chick to fly was Amelia Earhart. It kind of got that at the end, but I thought Amelia Earhart was somebody like everybody knew, and that would be like, oh. I had to like say it and explain it, and then it was like, oh. So it was like, okay, you know what? All right, yeah. No more historic school type stuff where you gotta like have, if you wasn't paying attention to class, you probably don't know who the hell that is, right? But it's still salvageable. It still got off, but it's just like when you thinking about build-ups, and that's a quadruple really, because a order is a part of your heart, right? And I said if my thugs catch you, hit your blood vessel with the 50 and tear it off. So it's a caliber thing too, right? Because it's a milli. Or the 9 hits you with his titty. So the milli, or air, or heart, if I give a order, right? So if you give a order, which is an a order, like a part of the heart, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's layers to it. But if you don't know who Amelia Earhart is, it's like, in a order, it's like if I said more things, and then I thought about it, like, I don't even know what more parts of a heart there are. Because I was thinking that when I was writing it, like, a order. And I'm like, what's another part of the heart? I'm like, I don't know. So I'm like, if I don't know, then people don't know. So it's just like when you write, sometimes I gotta be a little less selfish with my writing sometimes. That's my own personal critique of myself. You know what I'm saying? I might, if I want bigger crowd reaction sometimes, instead of just to be a stubborn writer and say, look, man, this is fire, I'm saying it, I don't care. Right? And that's how I be most of the time. But just as a self-critique and looking at, if you want to maximize, the effectiveness of your pen, I would say as a veterano that, you know what I'm saying, and as somebody that, you just seen the John battle, you just see, I just had a classic, so, every battle, I guess, is not going to be classic, unfortunately, but, that is the standard, you know what I'm saying, so if I'm looking at classic being the standard, I got to be real with myself, you know what I'm saying, so he said, people not thinking that deep, yeah. He said a milli, which is a 9 with air or heart, exactly. He said, was the crowd gassing on the bars? Pause. No, they weren't gassing. They weren't gassing. But in their defense, they've been there 2 days. You know what I'm saying? I was the second to last battle on the second day. You know what I mean? So, but they was there. You know what I'm saying? We're not going, we're not going to bash the crowd or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm just giving y'all the dynamics and how it felt to me. Pause. You know what I mean? Just letting you know how it went. Right. He said, I get it though. Yeah, salute. What's up, you tribe? Peace. So, hold on, let me post this out one time, y'all. I ain't going nowhere. Hold on. So yeah, so that's how it went, like the first, so the second round, right? You gotta pardon me. I'm gonna put some laundry up here so she didn't try to get it. Sherry, I'm trying to eat the laundry. So, are you still looking for that Easy battle this year? Your thoughts on Easy versus Song? I'm not looking for him. Apparently he hates me. Apparently he doesn't like me. But the irony is, I never felt, first of all, I thought he was a Muslim, I'm not stuff Allah. If he is, then, I don't have nothing bad to say about a Muslim, man. At the end of the day, I just really would appreciate it if people reciprocated. And I'm a person where I know my value, and no homo, or I understand that when I put my all into my craft, I don't want people playing with that. You know what I'm saying? That's all. So it's like, I don't appreciate when someone, tries to deal with me in a way where it's like, it almost makes it seem like they like being funny style or something, or acting like they got some type of ups on you. And it's like, bruh, what is that? Like, I don't understand that or the need for that. Because I've never been that type of person. I don't deal with people like that. If you're in a position to where, you paying me for something or whatever, as long as you do good business and what you're supposed to do, I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do. And that's it. Like, why can't it just be that simple? But it's like, it be getting weird with the vibes. It be seeming like certain niggas, they just be, getting like drunk off that or something. And want to try to deal with you any type of way. Then you hear they saying little side shit. It's like, bro, come on, my man. Like, that's crazy. Like, now you wildin'. When it was only ever just battle rap stuff, to me, I don't have no, I don't know people to have no other thoughts or opinions on them for real. You know what I'm saying? I know them from his battles, and from what I do know of them, which is the way they carry themselves when I've seen them or been around or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I definitely ain't chasing nobody for no battle. Don't ever get it twisted of thinking that I'm just doing stuff on that note just because I'm trying to get a battle. Like, I'll just make some stuff up or act whatever. And if you look back through these lives and you really do your due diligence, you will see, like, you know what I'm saying? You'll see the origins of certain stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because you can watch it as it's really transpiring. So I'm pretty sure on one of these lives was when there was where people was actually saying, yo, what's up with this? You know what I'm saying? Why is this? I don't know what this is on my dog either. But that's what even made me be like, bruh, why does people keep coming to me in this? Why, like, what are you doing? But anyway, so this year, I think it's gonna be, he said on Easy YouTube Live, we asked for the Serius Jones battle, but he said you took it too far with the words about him and Remy. It was more than market for the battle. He said you were doing too much. Okay, well, first of all, if I took it too far by saying what I said, then I mean everybody that you ever battled took it too far. Then, first of all, because everybody said way worse than that and said way more than that when they battled you. One, two. I don't know about you, but me personally, if I feel disrespected, I don't really like normally, unless I'm like angry enough to really be on some other shit. I normally don't think deep enough about it to where I actually came up with some like plan or something about whatever. So if you together and you whatever, and you trying to pop it as if this is this is why you the guy, then that's the reason why I say what I say then. Because it's like, oh, all right, well if this, then that. That's what that's about. It ain't got nothing to do with no, and it's like, I mean, if you feel that way, then you know what I mean. It could be whatever, like you know what I'm saying. But I mean, it don't. To me, it's like this is battle rap shit. It comes from rap. You know what I mean. We talk crazy in battle rap. I didn't say I don't. What did I say? I gotta remember. I don't even know what I said. All I know is why is you saying anything about me? I came on your league and gave you a classic, man. You been acting weird with me the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Like acting like I'm like some peon or some weird shit. What's wrong with you, bro? Like, and you don't like that. I don't like being dealt with on some. You know what I mean? Clone told. Did Clone actually tell? I seen the footage of him in that interrogation room. He looked really explaining, but I didn't get the audio of it though. I just seen him in the thing. Sherry, what is that on you? Okay, is this a thing, y'all? Can y'all tell me? What's this on my dog? It's like a strip of feels like a long scar or something. Hold on, Sherry. I don't know what this is on you. I'm like peeling it off. What does that mean, Sherry? You cut yourself or something? That scared me a little bit. And I'm peeling it off. It feels like it's like a scab that don't want to come off. Check into that clone situation. Oh man, it's crazy out here, man. It's spooky, B. It's spooky, B. People just out here telling, man. Thoughts about bad news. Should he still stay in battle rap? First of all, I was taught in a different code. I was taught you leave people that have any of those type of things alone. You know what I'm saying? You don't talk about them. You don't try to beef with them. You ain't got no rap. So I'm gonna stick to the code on that. Because I almost, did have a long thought out and passionate opinion on that. Because I'm somebody that I still love this culture in terms of battle rap. It's still something that, regardless, it's a part of me, even though, at times I could be tired of it. At times I could be like, man, I just want to make music or whatever. But it's like, there's a part of me spiritually that's an MC and naturally a battle rapper, because that's the element and the era that I come from. You know what I'm saying? That's the culture that has literally been, my saving grace in certain ways, and also been, my intro to the world, so to speak, right? So I think it's something that needs to be protected, right? And because it's something that needs to be protected, certain things can be almost taken as an assault on it, right? Because it's changing the fabric, you know what I mean? Or it's attempting to change the fabric of what it is we do here. And we do a certain thing here, right? We do a certain thing in battle rap. Which is that one, it ain't really nothing. If you did something, whatever it is, you know what I mean, or something happened to you, there's no, you can't talk about this as far as I'm concerned. People have talked about all type of things. Every time they battle me, they say the same things. So all I could say is this much. If I was gonna be in a position to where I didn't want people to say certain things about me, and I mean, which first of all, nobody does, right? You think I want to stand there and have to continue to hear people say over and over that I'm supposedly, a coward or something, you know what I mean? Because I didn't unalive another black man that I already got get back on, or it makes me somehow less of a whatever. I gotta hear that every single time. That's their only angle to say. They don't know anything else to say. So that's something you can say, right? Well, you ain't a killer. Okay. But what am I gonna say? If you say somebody else say that again, watch. I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna show y'all how these hands work. I'm gonna show y'all how busy y'all could get. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna basically say, you can't battle me and play with me. I mean, that's what battle rap is. It's literally attacking another man verbally. It's literally doing your best to humiliate and destroy another human with words. So the most destroying things that I have to use and to say to you, I can't use because you're gonna feel a way about it. Well, if that's the case, then I would say that's probably not the type of, you know, I wouldn't battle then if that was the case. That's just my opinion. But I can say that much. Glad to see you beat Marv last night and meet you after. I'm still laughing at that bar where you said he'll need to be carried by more than 6 people. Salute, brother. I'm glad you feel like I won, man. Respect, respect. Because, sometimes people really be trying to play on my top and like actually have me confused. Like, damn, like really? Did you really look like I didn't win? Man, that's crazy. I'm like, I know I won. I'm like, I heard him. I looked at it. I listened to the crowd reaction. He had a couple moments in the third, but other than that, it was like, nah. But salute tomorrow. Salute tomorrow. I'm just glad I got out of there with the win, to be honest. You know what I mean? I'm just glad I got out of there with the win. You know what I mean? But I was recapping. I guess we could finish it. Okay, so the third, I started off kind of just, I was in my Fight Club bag with this one. I tried to be a little bit more Fight Clubby with this one, where I was just really kind of joking and mixed with the bars and just being on some personality, just have fun with it type shit. Stop, Sherry. And I addressed a couple things like where he's called himself the Penguin, like saying it's the Penguin versus Batman. But this was another thing I was wondering. I don't know how much people seen that HBO series, The Penguin, where they talking about the guy who became the villain, Oswald Copperpot, or whatever. But basically, I was just saying how the guy is a creep, that unalived his own brothers and just wanted to sleep with his mom and all that, and just had a complex. But it was like, I don't know if that connected like that because I don't even know how many people really see that. But that was another one I wanted to say that to him because I wanted. So I'm getting to that bag and I'm breaking down like, why do you want to be this creepy white man? You know what I mean? Villain, right? And then I'm like, I start talking about what was the segue was like, stop, Sherry. You can't eat cheese doodles. You look at me. Eat Cheetos. More Cheetos for you. So, what am I saying? So basically, the third is like I normally pick up more momentum in the second and third. It's like people start realizing what I'm saying and the layers to what I'm saying. usually towards the second and the third. Like that's usually when shit starts resonating. So I said I ended it really with some choice words just about the culture and what's going on in terms of, they main excuses I don't take you serious. And then behind the scenes be like, man, you the legend, I was scared to take you serious. Like we know my classics break new barriers. I had to pave new areas. First nigga on MTV that showed y'all that swags and jokes makes you scarier. Like, you know what I mean? I had to give a little history lesson right fast. So it was like all of that was kind of like, you know what I mean? So it's like on camera, I think it translates a lot better because I just looked at it and I was like, it actually looked a lot better than it felt. Pause. Like I felt like, man, I was a little like wary how it would look on camera, to be honest. But I was like, okay. So I tweeted. I thought it's an ugly win, but it was a win. And shout out to Marv. A couple of those little battle rap troll chicks immediately went in. You didn't win that battle at all. Damn. Oh yeah? So he put his clip out, I put my clip out. Let's look at it. When y'all look at the bars, when y'all do the breakdown, if you take the time to check this battle out, you're gonna see, the layers and the bars, the penmanship. I could have, like I said, I'm gonna keep it real. I could have delivered them better. Them goddamn, not making no excuses, but don't ever battle with a grill in your mouth. That's probably not a good idea. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie. There was one little white kid in the corner that just kept talking loud as hell, bro. And he started pissing me off a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. I let it get to me. I had to say something like, yo, you real deal. Get that, like, he was talking the real deal. I'm like, bro. Other than that, it was good. Can you just see Jones versus Cassidy? I don't think Cassidy want that smoke. He don't want to do that. If he do, you can eat, I'll let you eat one Cheeto. Yeah, I don't think he want that smoke. So I would gladly put a legendary spanking pause on Cassidy. Gladly make a legendary generational example out of the hustler. If you want to do that, we can do that. We can line it up like a barber. I see he been blacking on wax on these niggas. That shit was actually hard too. Fire emojis. Okay. Said hi. Hello. How you doing? I'd like to see you on Chiller League. Pause. Yeah, we can get it. You don't gotta pause me being on Chiller League. What's pausable about that, brother? You said Jones fried and munchies kicked in, huh? Now I'm really hungry a little bit. I just ate something this morning and realized it's already 4:30. Yeah, I'm ready, man. Honestly, I feel like I needed that battle because I haven't been battling as much as some of my other peers, and sometimes you need different environments to really just, everything is a learning experience and sharpens you. I needed to get in the ring. I need to work. I need to be active. You know what I'm saying? That's what helps you literally be in your bag even more. Is the more you work. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm gonna be outside, I like to be outside. So if y'all notice, I've been taking like 5, 6 battles a year versus some of my peers that might only come outside once every year, once every 2 years sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Going. It's a different mechanism. I like to see you. It's kind of paused in this culture. Oh, LMO. Okay, yeah. Well, I'm glad you was back outside. I had Yoshi getting me the updates because I had to work, but she said she want to battle you so bad. She don't want to do that. She thinks she do, but she don't want to do that. The crazy part is, I can keep it this real with y'all. I already had a round and a half of Yoshi because we were supposed to battle on that. We were supposed to battle already. At first, I wasn't gonna do it. I'm like, I never battled a girl as like a professional battle rapper. Back in the day, on some little tournament stuff or something, when I was younger, 19, 20 maybe, yeah, I roasted a couple girls. I had no choice. They was right there and they was in the contest. But I never wanted that to be a thing of me battling women. You know what I'm saying? Because, I don't know. It just never was a thing to me. It just didn't feel like, it feels mean something to me, right? But some of these women nowadays is dead nice and will violate you. So, I mean, it does change the dynamic a lot. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like the same way back in the day when, you know, usually just if you battle on a girl in general, just her ability to project and her aggression level is just hard to match, you know, with a man, right? But when you look at like a Miss Hustle, you know what I'm saying? She can compete with your aggression. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you're yelling and aggressive, Miss Hustle and Jazz is like niggas. You funny for that. But I mean, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Their energy is like enough. They've done this sport enough and they've learned this is what's happened. They've adapted and learned how to project on the level of men because they've had to battle men and to beat men. So they plan on a level of competition. And that's why it's like I'm talking about just about being outside. You play to the level of your competition if you're really intelligent enough, like, and if you're somebody that's dedicated and disciplined enough, you'll play better than your level of competition, right? But you definitely play at least to the level of your competition if you're somebody that's dedicated enough, right? Dedicated enough to the sport to be looking at your own performances and see, like I was doing with y'all, and saying like, damn, what could I have done better? Okay, I'm talking about Amelia Earhart. Nigga don't know who the hell that is. All right, one. Okay, another thing that I thought about, I shared this with Scoop. I said, I should have I should have done something that I always do too. I always talk to a crowd that I don't know, right? If I'm in a new city and it's the first time I'm seeing him, he said that line was fire. Appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Cartel Jalisco, new generation. What's up to the cartel, man? So when you're in a new city, this is just a principle that you always do. We were just caught a little off guard. They was rushing. I just started the battle. I wasn't really thinking about introducing myself to the city. This is what you're supposed to do first. Yo, Pittsburgh, what's poppin', man? Yo, listen. You know what I mean? Been battling 30 years. It's my first time battling in Pittsburgh, man. I'm happy to be here. Make some noise, right? That was, yeah. Okay, yeah, he out here. Let's go, right? Show us how y'all do it. You know, just little things like that, right? Hindsight is 2020, but it's just something that I always remember to do. I always tap in with the city. I always make sure at least we had that first connection, that first whatever. So once you start rapping, it's, you know what I mean? They're already in tune with you instead of you needing that first 4-8 for them to, right? Game for sale, you know, free game, not for sale, right? You know what I'm saying? He said if it's possible when the battle drop, it will be fire. If we can do a bar breakdown on your channel. Okay. Well, being that I'm gonna make sure we take this right here, this clip right here, and we're gonna use that to show you because people be thinking that I be just trying to like save face and show y'all how fire my bars is if that means I lost or something. They be doing all type of stuff. So I want the people that really are in tune with the bars, like you said, I want them to know, like, listen, this is for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I be thinking. I be thinking like, but I want to do bar breakdowns for y'all so that we at least get the value of the bars out, right? Because a lot of times, even when I'm watching a battle, especially if there's not a certain level of reaction to a bar, it's difficult to know that there's a lot of stuff in there. It's like you combing over, you know what I'm saying? You combing over something and you don't really feel the bumps in it, pause. You know what I'm saying? Until you dig deeper enough to see, oh, okay, this, right? So when you get the bar breakdown and you say, okay, this makes sense this way, this makes sense that way, and this is connected to that because of this or this or that, it makes the bar, it makes the battle, to me, that much more fire because now you can hear it from a different way. Now you can hear all the intricacies, you know what I'm saying? You can see all the fine details in it that you might have missed. That's what to me a bar breakdown is supposed to be about. So if y'all down for those, I'm down to get back doing those. I think I did a couple, but those be long too. Pause. That take a long time because my bars really, I be really putting a whole lot of layers into it that I know nobody's gonna get. If you really got all the layers to one of my rounds, like all of them, you would really have to take you would have spent a lot of time. Now I'm not saying that to try and glorify my own pen. I'm saying that because I don't even be knowing sometimes, honestly. And when I sit down, it's like it's a lot of subconsciousness that goes into writing, right? So I did this one thing where I was saying, bro earlier said he liked this line where I was saying that Marv One gonna need to be carried by more than six, right? But I said I got a Judge and a 12. A Judge is the small handheld shotgun, basically. I said I got a Judge and a 12 that'll have you carried by six. And I'm like, nah, it's gonna be like six more fellas. You gonna need like at least six more fellas, right? I said, but you know how when you die and you important, you aren't jealous. Somebody want to keep the house, another relative want to sell it. Somebody that snuck and took a loan out from the bank on credit where your fee tonight won't cover your casket or headstone. Bet it. The reverend gonna be like, it's time for us to lay our brother to rest. Who gonna help us? T-Top see that casket and be like, shit, I can't. My shoulder, I'm going to tear it. The deacon start beefing with him, talking about, come on, Terrence. Nigga, the point is you gonna die so broke, your people's gonna have to rob Peter to pay Paul bearers. They reacted at the Paul bearer right part, right? But I didn't realize that I just naturally, I don't know what made me think about T-Top to even say anything about Top, right? Shout out to T-Top the Bear. I just was thinking about fat people in caskets. So I just thought about him being at the funeral and the reverend telling another fat nigga like, come on, man, help to lift the casket, right? But what I'm thinking that, this is what I'm saying about the layers of stuff that you don't even realize. Who's T-Top? The bear. I didn't even think about that part. You're gonna have to rob Peter to pay Paul bearers. And T-Top is going to be sitting there lazy, his family that don't want to lift it, and your peoples don't even have enough people to carry this casket because they don't care, right? So it's like they're going to have to find somebody just to pay to like, it'll be levels to stuff that's like, you know what I mean? But whatever. So that was just like another example of how like a bar could, and then it was gonna be the Family Guy thing because I said the Family Guy part. So Rob Peter, it was like that would be too much. So I ain't even go and get. I'm like, nah, I'm about to get too. Sometimes you can get too Larry. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes you can get too deep with it and be like, look, keep it on the surface. So people, you ain't gotta keep it on the surface, but at least keep it to where like, you know what I mean? They get at least one or two of the entendres. It don't make no sense for you to have a 4 entendre bar when nobody even gets one of them. They only get one entendre and you got 4. Thinking it's fire just because it's so layered. I've done that before. You know what I'm saying? Because you know it's mad late. Yo, this once they, you know, once somebody do get it, it's like, oh. But if it takes them to sit there and to, as you just wrote, rewind to find more to find, then sometimes they don't wind up rewinding, right? Because they don't think it's nothing there. They don't know that you blacked out because no one was talking about it or promoting or saying, yo, nah, he wilded out on that shit. I gotta go back and listen. They're not rewinding to find it's more to find, so they're not even finding what's there to find. So they're never minding the mind that was in your mind, you know what I'm saying, that you just dropped them gems with. Hello? You know? So you gotta sometimes display the jewels, right? Just like the Diamond District, what they do, they put them on a tray under that good lighting. So you can see the clarity in the stone. You can see, you know, the value of the gem you drop it because it's clear to see, you know? Diamonds in the rough don't be shiny a lot of times. You find a big diamond rock like this, that might be about $30 million, but it's gonna be cloudy. They gotta cut that stone and polish it down, and it might wind up being this big afterwards. Pause. Right? Rock this big might wind up being this big, just so that it's the clearest and most quality it could be. So that's the same time, writers, we gotta do with our work sometimes. You might have a whole idea that you like the whole idea. You like the whole setup and the whole thing. It's dope to you. You see it, you got it, whatever, whatever. But sometimes you might want to chop that down to concentrate it. You know what I'm saying? You concentrate that thought, you concentrate those bars into, you know what I mean? And that shit has a more powerful effect, depending on what it is. Also, another tactic, which Twerk does as well, is to stretch it, pause. Because it's a different thing when you're expecting the punchline, right? And that's how a lot of these new rappers got it, where it's ironic that I don't think they give me this yet because they don't understand, like they're still looking for me in a personality way most of the time, more so than looking to hear just a one-liner, right? So my one-liners be catching them off guard damn near. They'd be like, oh, versus just sitting there waiting. What Hollow said, they know when to get off because you told them a mile away, right? That's the mentality a lot of times with certain rappers. You're waiting for that big punchline. So the build-up is building it up, pause. Because when you say the punchline, it's like, ah, because you was already anticipating it being, you know what I'm saying? So every line you say that's not the punchline is almost like building the anticipation. It's almost like the reverse of when Daylight used to say, y'all want me to keep going? You know what I'm saying? So I get it strategy-wise, you know what I'm saying? That's hard. And some people utilize that well. Twerk's one of those, you know what I'm saying? He said the security was pissed at the people that was talking. The security were trying to hear the bars too. Yeah, that white dude that was talking in the back almost got kicked out. Yeah, yeah, that's the guy that you see. I said something to him during the battle. I'm like, yo, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's all love, man. You know what I'm saying? It's all love. I know everybody was doing their job, you know what I'm saying? And it's not easy to control the whole room, especially when you got, excuse me, I'm sorry. Especially when you got people lounging and relaxing, you know what I'm saying, and enjoying the bars too from a, you know what I'm saying? You've been sitting there all day. I get it, you know what I'm saying? I'll be wanting to sit down too, pause. But, you know, I do like it when everybody's standing front and center, right there. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no way for you to really sit there and relax and just kind of make it a chill vibe to where I gotta try to wake you up overly. Like, yo, I gotta be yelling and jumping around and doing some, you know what I'm saying? Where just my bars and just my swag naturally don't hype you up. You feel me? That's the thing about being adaptable though, as an MC, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, I was able to still pull some reactions out that room, but it's like the bars really supposed to, they're gonna translate on cam better than they did in that building. That's just how this one is. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it happens. You know what I mean? Good day, Bree. How you doing? Thank you, D-Ness. Yes, Cash App the Wolfway, man. I should promote that more. If anybody wants to show some love, I appreciate it. Cash App, $, the Wolfway. I just pinned it at the bottom. Any donations appreciated, man. It's all love. You know, I'm working. I'm gonna do my best to make sure I got a new project dropping the same day as the battle. You know what I'm saying? So we can cross promote like always. You know what I mean? And just keep the ball rolling, man. You know what I'm saying? He said he's the reason why a lot of people didn't catch the Amelia Earhart bar recorded late. Yeah, it's crazy. Or people don't know who that is. I'm about to start asking people that. I want to see how many people know who Amelia Earhart is now. Because I ain't gonna lie, I was a little like, there was a few times yesterday that I was surprised. So either I'm getting old, and there's certain things that's like, just say cliche stuff, man. Just say current event stuff. Say stuff you know everybody knows. You know what I mean? If it's a show you watched and you ain't sure everybody watched it, don't make a whole scheme about it. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Versus, I'm usually able to do what I want, and it resonates anyway because it's me and it's the way I do it. You know what I'm saying? I still win. But I think that's what makes you unique. You know what I'm saying? Right? Right, Sherry? Yeah. You miss me? You miss me? You was a good doggy? Yeah, you was a good doggy. What's that on your back, though? I want to know did you scrape your back on something? Yeah, man. So I'm going to just chill with Sherry. It's muted. It's not muted at all. Assalamu alaikum to all my believers, too, man. Happy holidays to, my Christian people celebrating Easter, if I haven't told you already. But, yeah, man, we just put on one, man. So it's definitely some good moments in there. It's definitely some good bars in there. It's definitely some jewels in there. You know what I'm saying? Like they say, you're just going to have to rewind and find what you want to find. Because, this was another one where, we had to work for it. Yes, ma'am. Yes? Yeah? Okay. What you want? Oh, you want me to play with you? Okay. Yeah. That's what you want. You're like, man, you've been gone 2 days. Come play with me. All right. So, yeah, I appreciate y'all, man. Everybody that hasn't already tapped in, man, tap into the pay-per-view. Go check out the Mean 3 weekend. You know what I'm saying? Brought to you by Street Talk. Shout out to Rap Grid. Shout out to my guy Scoop. You know what I'm saying? Follow him and his movement at the King Scoop, I believe is his Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Check out all the new leagues that's putting on, man. From, Hitman Holla's league to Chiller Takeover League to, you know what I'm saying, Capo and them in Louisiana, Alaska. Shout out to everybody that's putting on, man. There's people all over, you know what I'm saying, the world really, but, there's a lot of new blood in the culture that's putting on. I'm paying attention and I'm, that's all love, man. I think I definitely had a good showing. I was told, Caution told me it was an 8.5 out of 10. I'm like, and she normally tells me the truth, That's Tay-Rock's girl, and she kept it tall with me. So I'm like, okay, I want to get to I want 10s only, of course. But, I'm still grateful we got to put on a good show. We got there safe, There's no negative events. The only thing that I got canceled, I think, was Shuni and Caution because she it was something about shellfish. She was allergic to seafood or something like that. I guess it was a restaurant. But other than that, Chess, battled outside versus this guy named Kev Bless, and they had like, you know, some real outside showdown that really felt like some back in the day essence to me. You know, that was dope to see. You know what I'm saying? So I was just really grateful to just, you know, I really be grateful on battle days. You know, I'm really still grateful to just be, you know, doing my thing, loving this culture, you know, the tension and the pressure of and the challenge of you going in there, delivering your material, you know what I'm saying? The I still love the challenge, I guess, you know what I'm saying? Because it is a challenge, especially for somebody like me, when I got multiple things on my plate, you know what I'm saying? I'm dealing with different energies and entities from life, and it's really about, you know, you maximizing all of that and using it. That's what I do in my bars. If you really pay attention, I'm really talking about my life and pain, and it's really still an outlet to me. You know what I'm saying? My pen, that what that is. So I understand that a lot of people don't understand that aspect, and they might really just be sitting there thinking like they just want to hear a punchline. Like I understand, but for me, this is like really like, you know, something that's like I said in that battle. You know, life is a painful process, but inflicting them on y'all through bars is how I process pain. You know what I'm saying? It could have been Project Fame from Pyrex stains and letting fly an object bang. You know, like this is how I really be feeling. You know, so when I see myself up there and I'm rapping and being all animated and yelling in ways that I never even talk like this, I know that that's the outlet. I know that this is why, you know, I was put on earth to be an MC. You know what I'm saying? He said heat. Yeah, man, that's just what it is, brother. You feel me? So I find my purpose the more that, you know, the more that I exercise. You feel me? The more that I exercise my purpose. It makes sense. And I'm not finding my purpose. That's another thing I said that was real in this battle. That, you know, my dad, you know, be paying attention. And he's like, you don't like me battling, it's too negative. You know, it's like it's hard to argue with the proof and evidence that niggas is uncouth and derelicts, and the press will piss on your name because they only move is to press and piss you off when you at your precipice. You know, that's real talk. That's how it really be. You know what I'm saying? And it winds up, you know, it winds up making people really look at it like, man, is this something? Is it like, is it time to graduate? Like, you know what I'm saying? And just be doing other vibrational things. You feel me? Or is it just about maximizing your brand and really having people respect you just as an MC? They want to come hear you and your pen. When they think about coming to one of your battles, they thinking about hearing some just lyrical dopeness that, you know, that's the same thing as you being, you know, a writer for a magazine or a, you know, it's not the same thing, but you understand what I'm saying? But like your pen is paying the bills for real. Where you're in a space where you can avoid all the nonsense. But it's really just difficult to avoid the nonsense. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's hard to be swimming in a water that's dirty and not get dirty. You know what I'm saying? What do I think about Daylight and Rum? I have not digested, pause, that whole battle yet. I haven't. I started watching it yesterday. Actually, I started watching it Friday, right? But I'm still trying to focus on my bars. You know what I'm saying? So I watched like the first round and a half, right? Um, Actually, I watched the first round and a half, I think. And then Saturday, I came back. I started watching it again, and again, I only got to like the second round, cause I'm like, man, it was. I don't think it was messing with my thought process, but I just didn't want to. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't want to, like, cause I'm the type of person where I just absorb, you know, bars. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be in the middle of the scheme. That's some fast scheme, and I start thinking about some other fast scheme, and then I'm like, I was watching it right before my battle. So I'm watching it, I'm like, nah, let me turn this off and focus on just going over my bars right now. You know what I'm saying? And for the most part, I remember my bars well, you know what I'm saying? But I'm always nervous that I'm gonna forget them. It's weird. It's like I be so nervous that I'm gonna forget my bars when I know them every time. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I guess that's I guess that's the devil doing his job, trying to make you insecure, right? You beat both of them. I appreciate it. Yeah, I did beat both of them. Wow, that's crazy. Damn, ain't that crazy? Salute, brother. Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, 3-0 daylight. And rum, yeah. It's real. I guess I should post some clips of that, right? Just for the principle. See, I don't even be thinking like that. They got their shit going. Let me remind y'all, I beat both of them niggas. It's like, yeah, man. We're still outside, man. Make sure you stream all the music, man. G.I. Jones, Meet the Wolf, TCOF. You know what I'm saying? I got some new music coming for y'all. And we're gonna have some plays coming. He said, with your life experiences, do you ever think about converting to other topics like sports, finance, or politics? Absolutely, my brother. Absolutely. This is, God willing, to segue to that, you know what I'm saying? Us just really trying to make this more of a lifestyle brand where we just, where we on a mission together in life, man. We just chopping on a real frequency. So whatever we choose to do with this, right? Whether we go, today we're going to talk about finance. Today we're going to talk about the sports. Today we're going to recap something else, or just give some reactions and opinions on life topics, on, financial issues, on relationships, God willing, we're going to do all of that, brother. But to be honest, I really just been focusing on getting my bag right, you know what I'm saying? Getting my life right, getting in a position to be the best father that I could be. From now on, me and my daughter don't ever have to worry about anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I honestly been focused on for the most part. I think when I have more creative dexterity, let me say, in a podcasty space, in a whatever else space, I think when it's more like that, then I'll have the, it's gonna be a more professional thing, right? I might have a blaze on, you know what I'm saying, sitting at a desk somewhere, recapping somebody's game. It might happen. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Sherry? Somebody said, what's up, Sherry? Hey, what's up, mama? So I had to put these clothes on because you can try to eat the clothes. No. Oh, that's your hat. Yeah, you keep that. But yeah, man. Is that a pit bull? No, absolutely not. This is a bully. You know what I mean? A bulldog, excuse me. A French bulldog, that is. It's a Frenchie. You don't like small dogs? Well, she don't like you neither. You ain't gotta like her. The hell? The heli? The helicopter? With the helmet's mayonnaise? But yeah. Anyway. You said fair enough. What's funny is I didn't like small dogs at first either, bro. I only like pit bulls and real. I felt like it's a pointless thing if a dog can't protect you, right? But to be honest, now that I've grown up, I really love my dog, right? Right, Cherry? She loves me too. Whenever she sees me, she's really, really happy. You know what I'm saying? She want to go everywhere I go. She could be friendly with mad people, but she don't want to go with them. She want to be with her daddy. You know what I'm saying? And she's loyal, man. You know what I mean? She don't do much. She just be sitting there playing. You know what I'm saying? Chilling. Right, Sherry? And she like a star. It's weird. She got videos with 600,000 views on them. She got mad little fake viral videos. She be really chilling. So she's really a cool person, bro. You know what I'm saying? She just be looking out the window, watching people. You know what I mean? Chilling. We be sitting here looking at watching the ships roll in, and watch them run away again. You know, that's how we be on it. We be just mobbing. Word. It's a beautiful doggy. Thank you, man. What about interviewing, speaking with other rappers or celebs? You can do battle reviews. Yes. Am I related to John Jones? I am not, sir. I'm not. I'm surprised that I still like, you know what I mean? Still look so husky. I honestly haven't been working out, y'all. And y'all can help me stay motivated, man. I'm trying to get back right. And I don't believe in try. It's time to get back right. So y'all gotta motivate me. Cause I still just look like this. I ain't even been doing no working out. You know what I'm saying? So it's time to really like crystallize. You know, imagine if I really had been doing my workouts every day, lifting, pull-ups, push-ups, running, eating right. You know what I'm saying? I'd be a monster. I'm still a monster, but I'd be monstrously monster. You know what I'm saying? Like Monster Cody. Like, I should be like up to the gods, as they say, which I guess is a disrespectful expression as a Muslim, technically, right? But, you know, see what I mean about Sherry? She really just be macking. Yeah. It's been 3 years, been at the gym. I lost everything. You can get it back. You can get it back, man. You know, let's get back together. You say you look like Johnny Bones Jones. You know what's crazy, bro? I was 228. You know what I mean? I was 228, and I was clearly a little bit more husky than this. My face still got, you know, I still got the whatever. I'm probably like 208 or something like that right now. You know what I mean? But I'm about to, my goal from before. I don't like to make another man my goal, but this was my body. What I felt like would be my body ideal, whatever. Is 225. 225 was my goal. And then I actually surpassed it and I was 228. But I still didn't look like what I wanted. Like, I was looking at this nigga Paul's DK Metcalf, right? The receiver, you know what I mean? He's like a diesel, obviously musclehead nigga, right? And that was my goal weight of like, you know what? Yeah, I'm 6'4". You know what I mean? If I'm 225, yeah, that's Aki. I wound up being 228, but I still didn't look as cut as that, right? Even though I was up, my weight was up, whatever. But it's a different type of thing when you got weights and physical training and whatever. When you're doing pull-ups and push-ups in jail, you know what I'm saying? And eating bread and, you know what I mean? Eating processed foods, you're not getting the same level of whatever, the same level of crystallization from, a guy that's literally sitting there, drinking protein shakes and creatine and just having the best available nutrients and a healthy lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? When people, even though we able to, when I say we, just meaning black men and just, those of us that have been, in the system, just because you're able to preserve yourself through exercise, through, whatever the outlets that you just figure out how to survive off, that don't mean that's how you're supposed to live. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean that. You know what I mean? So you make the best out of a situation, but imagine if you did that on the street. That's the one thing that I gotta be real with myself that I have not done yet, bro. Like, I have not been as disciplined on the street as I've been when I was in spending a couple little minutes behind that wall. That made me so much more disciplined. But it's like, if you do that I know that when I'm not disciplined here and just on my daily life, I'm still disciplined. But when you that disciplined, you know what I'm saying? Like, you not missing nothing. You like, listen, you have nothing else. You waking up 5:30, you praying. You know what I'm saying? You might go back to sleep, you might not. You're reading, I'm reading books. Every week I'm reading 2-3 books. You know what I'm saying? I'm writing down everything. You know what I'm saying? Every plan. I'm not missing a prayer. I'm not missing a workout. I'm working out maybe 2 times a day sometimes. 2 hours. They looking at me like I'm a maniac. They looking at us like we crazy. We going in the gym at 3:30, not coming out till 5:30, 6 o'clock sometimes, bro. Like, and when I come out, it's shit like in out the beef patty. That's what some shit is. What? Niggas starting to look at you like, yo, I think there's something wrong with you. But it's just programming. It's just you that focused. You know what I'm saying? That's the real wave, man. And that's what we need to stay on, man. Programming. You know, just maximizing. Gotta cook your own meal. Absolutely. DK's a good example. Yeah, that was my, you know, I was like, yeah, that's what I'm going for. He said I'm 6'2", 190. Yeah, that's good. You about that's like a receiver. You know what I'm saying? That's an NFL receiver. He said, I have a friend in your hood, the saying the kind, what? Hold on. I feel like that's something I have a friend in your hood. He's saying the kayaking in the river is like 300 for a year or something. What you mean in my hood? What's my hood? A lot of us black men rely on God given physical talent and not put the work in like we should also. Brother man, that is so real, brother. And I am one of those myself, brother. I am guilty of that. You know what I mean? Because I've just been blessed. I've been physically blessed. I've been, you know, intellectually blessed. Sometimes we really don't even be fine-tuning our gifts. We so gifted that we just ride with it. And, you know, you're able to survive. But it's like you're not thriving to the level that you should. And that's real for me to even acknowledge about myself, you know? Like we gotta put in the extras, man. If we want the extra reward, we gotta take the extra the risk. And I don't mean a negative risk. That doesn't mean a criminal or illegal risk. That means just putting something out there that you're not sure about or you really even don't even want to do, right? Risking the fatigue, risking the uncomfort, risking the, you know, risking the losing the little bit of freedom that you feel like you have to just relax and not have to worry. You know what I mean? He's putting something on the line. You feel me? Salute, Irvin. I see you. You know. But yeah, that's where we at, man. That's where we at with it, man. So let me watch this battle. Let me crystallize. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what I'm really looking like, man. And let me make sure the next time I step outside, it's 10 times better than that, man. That's all. We just gonna keep going all the way up like a turtleneck, man. You know what I'm saying? If y'all ain't already know, it's J1, that's the only great one left. That's Jones if you slow. Spell it out if you special it out. But I still love you. It's the cornerstone entrepreneur and more. Happy 420 to all my people out there that smoke and getting money. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna keep rocking. You know what I mean? And it's not stopping. You know what I mean? Make sure you see me in a town near you. You know what I mean? And I'm down and around in 1,000 towns putting it down. You know what I'm saying? Put it in my palm. You know what I'm saying? If you want to fuck with a dog, come on. Hello? Yeah. And make sure you download The Art of Word War. My book is available right now on all platforms. All platforms that have audio books, which is Audible, Google Play, Amazon, you know what I'm saying, Storytel, etc. Or you could DM me directly and I'll just send you a copy myself. You know what I'm saying? It's Cash App, $ the Wolf Way. You know what I'm saying? So it's the Wolf Way or no way, man. You know what I'm saying? Where the battle dropping on YouTube, I'm not sure when it drops on YouTube, but all of the battles are available right now on the pay-per-view. Again, the pay-per-view link is rapgrid/mean3. All right, rapgrid.com/mean3. You know what I'm saying? Or just follow me on Instagram and you're going to have all the details, man. At the real Serius Jones. All right? One love, man. Happy holidays to y'all and your families, man. Blessings. With love. Shout to Marv One, too. Shout to Marv One, man. Shout to Scoop. Shout to all the battle rappers that put on, too, man. Make sure y'all support all of us, man. You know, this shit ain't easy. Believe me. It's just in me, not on me. Pause.